Hi, welcome to English Hamster. Are you learning English? Great. Here we learn through stories. They are simple and interesting. You can improve English while learning knowledge. Remember to subscribe, like and comment. Let's get started.
Close your eyes for a moment and think about your room. Do you see a book on your desk? Do you have a magazine or a newspaper near your bed? Most of us have many books. We can go to a shop and buy a story for a few dollars. We can go to a library and take a book home for free. Reading is a normal part of our lives. But can you imagine a world without any books? Can you imagine a world where only the richest people in the world own a single book? A long time ago, that was the real world. If you wanted to read a story, you had to be very lucky. Most people lived their whole lives without ever touching a book. They never saw their own language written down on paper. Information did not move fast. It moved as fast as a horse could run. If a king in a faraway land made a new law, it took weeks or months for people to hear about it. Everything changed because of one man and one great machine. This machine is called the printing press. It is perhaps the most important invention in the history of the world. Because of this machine, ideas started to fly across the ocean. People started to learn how to read. They started to think for themselves. Today, we are going to tell the story of how this machine was born and how it changed everything for you and me. Before we talk about the invention, let us look at the big picture of life in the year 1400. In Europe, life was very quiet and slow. Most people were farmers. They worked in the fields from morning until night. They did not go to school because there were no schools for regular people. Only the leaders of the church and very rich leaders of the empire owned books. An empire is a very large group of countries ruled by one powerful person. In these empires, books were like gold. Why were they so expensive? It is because every single word in every single book had to be written by hand. Imagine writing a whole dictionary with just a pen. It took many months or even years to finish one book. People called monks sat in quiet rooms for hours every day. They used ink and feathers to write on skin from animals. They painted beautiful pictures on the pages. These books were beautiful, but they were very heavy and very rare. Because books were handmade, they cost as much as a house. A normal person could never buy one. This meant that rich people held all the power. They had the information, so they made all the rules. If you did not know how to read, you had to believe everything the leaders told you. You could not check the facts for yourself. At the same time, across the world in Asia, people were already trying to solve this problem. In China and Korea, they used wooden blocks to print words. They carved a whole page of words into a piece of wood, put ink on it, and pressed it onto paper. This was much faster than writing by hand, but it was still difficult. If you made one mistake on the wood, you had to throw the whole block away and start again. Also, the Chinese language has thousands of different characters, so making blocks for every page was a huge job. Europe did not know about these inventions yet. Europe was waiting for a change. The economy was growing and people wanted to do business. To do business, you need to write things down. You need to keep lists of what you sell and buy. More people wanted to learn, but they needed a cheaper way to get information. They needed a revolution. A revolution is a time when everything changes very quickly because of a new idea or a new way of doing things. Our story begins in a city called Mainz, which is in Germany. There lived a man named Johannes Gutenberg. Johannes was a businessman, but he was also a person who loved to build things. He was a goldsmith. A goldsmith is a person who works with expensive metal to make jewelry or coins. Because he worked with metal, he knew how to melt it and shape it into very small things. Johannes had a big dream. He wanted to find a way to make many books quickly and cheaply. He did not want to carve a whole page into wood like the people in China. He had a better idea. He thought, what if I make a small metal piece for every letter of the alphabet? I can make a piece for the letter A, a piece for the letter B, and so on. Then I can put these letters together to make a word. After that, I can put the words together to make a sentence. This idea is called movable type. It was a genius idea because you can use the same letters again and again. When you finish printing page 1, you just take the metal letters apart and use them to build page 2. It is like playing with toy blocks today, but Johannes had a big problem. He had no money. Building a machine like this is very expensive. He needed to buy metal, he needed to build a large press, and he needed to buy a lot of paper. He went to a rich man named Johann Fust and asked for a loan. A loan is money that you borrow and must pay back later. Fust gave him the money, and Gutenberg started his secret work. For many years, Gutenberg worked in the dark. He did not want anyone to steal his idea. He had to solve many small problems. For example, the ink that people used for pens did not work on metal. It was too watery and would slide off the letters. Gutenberg had to invent a new kind of ink using oil. It was thick and sticky, like the paint we use on houses today. He also needed a machine to press the paper against the metal letters. He looked at the machines that farmers used to squeeze juice out of grapes to make wine. He took that design and changed it. This became the printing press. He put the metal letters in a frame, covered them with his new black ink, put a piece of paper on top, and pulled a big handle. The machine pressed the paper down with great force. When he lifted the paper, the words were perfect. Now, imagine the excitement in Gutenberg's workshop. He had his machine, his metal letters, and his special ink. He decided to print the most important book in Europe at that time, the Bible. He wanted to show the world that his machine could make a book as beautiful as the ones written by hand. He printed about 180 copies of the Bible. Today, that sounds like a very small number. But in the year 1455, it was a miracle. It was more books than some cities owned in total. These books looked perfect. Every letter was straight and every page was the same. When people saw them, they could not believe their eyes. They asked, "How can a man write so many books so fast?" Some people even thought it was magic, but Gutenberg had a very sad problem. He was a great inventor, but he was not a very good businessman. He owed a lot of money to Johann Fust, the man who gave him the loan. Gutenberg could not pay the money back fast enough. Fust took Gutenberg to court. The judge said that Fust could take the workshop, the machine, and all the metal letters. Gutenberg lost everything. He was very sad, but he did not give up. He started a small shop again later, but he never became a rich man. However, his secret was out. The workers who worked for Gutenberg knew how to build the machine. They started to travel to other cities. They went to Italy, France, and England. They took the idea of the printing press with them. Within 20 years, there were printing shops in every big city in Europe. This was the start of a huge change. Before the press, there were only a few thousand books in all of Europe. 50 years after the press, there were millions of books. As more books were made, something amazing happened. The price of books went down. Suddenly, a normal person who worked in a shop or on a farm could think about buying a book. But there was one more problem. Most people did not know how to read. In the past, if you lived in a small village, you only spoke your local language. You never saw words on paper. But now, printers wanted to sell more books. They started to print books in the languages that normal people spoke, like German, French, and English. Before this, most serious books were only in Latin. Latin was a very old language that only priests and doctors studied. Because books were now in their own language, people wanted to learn to read. Parents started to teach their children. Small schools opened in towns. People started to read stories about travel, history, and science. They stopped just listening to what the leaders said. They started to read the facts for themselves. This led to a time called the Reformation. This was a big change in the church. A man named Martin Luther had ideas that were different from the leaders of the church. In the old days, his ideas would stay in one small town and then disappear. But Luther used the printing press. He wrote short papers called pamphlets. A pamphlet is a very thin book with only a few pages. He printed thousands of these pamphlets and sent them everywhere. People in other countries read his ideas in just a few days. The leaders of the church could not stop the books. They tried to burn the books, but the printers just made more. This was the first time in history that a single person could talk to a whole continent using the power of the press. The printing press did not just change religion, it changed science too. Think about a scientist long ago. If a scientist in Italy found a new star in the sky, he had to write a letter to a friend in England. That friend might lose the letter, or he might copy the numbers wrong. It was very hard to share new information correctly. With the printing press, scientists could print their maps and their math problems. Every person who bought the book saw the exact same map and the exact same numbers. This meant that scientists could work together even if they lived far apart. They could check each other's work. One famous scientist was named Nicolaus Copernicus. He wrote a book saying that the Earth moves around the sun. Before the printing press, maybe only 10 people would read his notes. But because of the press, his book went to universities all over Europe. Other scientists like Galileo read it. This started a scientific revolution. This is a time when people stopped following old stories and started using math and tools to understand the world. The press also created something we use every day, the newspaper. In the 1600s, printers started to gather news from different cities. They printed a sheet of paper every week with the news. People would go to a coffee house, buy a cup of coffee, and read the news together. They talked about the government and the economy. They started to have opinions about how their country should be ruled. This was very dangerous for some kings. Some kings tried to make laws against the printing press. They said, "You cannot print a book unless I say it is okay." This is called censorship. Censorship is when a leader stops people from saying or writing certain things. But it was too late. The printing press was like a flood of water. You can try to build a wall, but the water will find a way through. People wanted information, and they were not going to stop. As the printing press became more popular, the world started to look very different. Before this machine, if you lived in a small town, you probably only knew about 100 people. You only knew what was happening in your own street. But with books and newspapers, your world became much bigger. You could read about a war in a land you never visited. You could read about a queen who lived 1,000 miles away. This created a new feeling among people. They started to feel like they belonged to a nation. A nation is a large group of people who live in the same country and usually speak the same language. Before the printing press, people in the north of a country and people in the south of a country often spoke very differently. They had different words for bread or water. But when the printers started to make books, they had to choose one way to spell words. They chose the most common way. Soon, everyone who read the book started to use the same spelling and the same words. This made the language strong. It made the people feel united. When you read the same news as someone across the country, you start to care about the same things. The printing press also changed how we remember things. Think about your school. You have a history book, right? You can look up what happened in the year 1776 or 1812. Before the press, history was often just stories that grandfathers told their grandsons. Sometimes the stories changed. Sometimes people forgot the dates. But once a story is printed in a book, it stays the same forever. It becomes a permanent record. This allowed humans to build on the ideas of the past. We did not have to start from zero every time a wise person died. We could just pick up their book and keep going. The impact of Johannes Gutenberg and his machine is still with us today. Look at your phone or your computer. When you send a text message or read an article online, you are using the great-grandchild of the printing press. The printing press was the first step toward the internet. It was the first time that information became mass media. Mass media is information that reaches many people at the same time. It took the power of knowledge away from a few rich people and gave it to everyone. It helped create the idea of democracy. Democracy is a way of ruling a country where every person has a voice. If people cannot read and do not have information, they cannot have a voice. The printing press gave them that voice. Without the press, the world might still be a place where only a few people go to school. We might not have modern medicine or airplanes because scientists would not have been able to share their secrets. Gutenberg's machine was the key that opened the door to the modern world. It taught us that an idea is the most powerful thing in the world, especially when that idea is printed on a piece of paper for everyone to see. We have traveled a long way from the quiet workshop in Germany to the busy world of today. We saw how one man's dream changed how we talk, how we learn, and how we live. The next time you hold a book in your hands, think about the metal letters and the sticky ink. Think about how lucky we are to have all the stories of the world at our fingertips.
Hey, if you learned something new today, please give this video a like. Write your thoughts in the comments and subscribe to the channel. It only takes a second and it really helps to create more English videos for you. Thank you. See you next time. Bye.